Hey, what's happening YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming back to another episode of Aquarium with Steve. Bringing you episode number 6 of my breeding project, my upgrade 2000, as my son would say. Things are starting to get real exciting now, everyone. So let's see, I've got my tanks in place. I've got everything where I can reach it. I'm completely organized. Well, now what's next? Well, I have to see the fish. So we're going to do some lighting. In this episode, I'm working with black water tanks now. Not my particularly favorite tanks to have or to look at. I mean, I can appreciate them, those of you who have them. I can definitely appreciate a black water tank, especially, you know, some of them are really pretty cool. However, I like my water crystal clear, like laser HD. So it's a little getting used to, but it's going to benefit the fish that I'm keeping, so that's first and foremost of importance. So they're going to have black water, so I've changed up my lighting plan a little bit. I'm going to go with more soft yellows since I'm not going to be trying to grow plants or anything, maybe some Java moss and some floating plants and such, but they're all low light. They're all low light plants, so it should be okay. So if you saw a couple videos back, or I did a DIY video on how to make lighting from LED strips. Basically, that's what I'm going to do. I have the link to the video so you can see step by step, because I'm going to just skim over it. There are a few things that I missed in that original video that I want to clarify here while I build the lighting rig for my fish room. So let's get going. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working with today, just to recap a little and to show you some new things that I'm going to be doing for this particular project. Let's go over some of the things I'll be using. This here is a 12 volt 30 amp DC power supply. It is going to power the lighting for all 15 tanks. That's 360 watts, which I will not be using fully. I won't be using all that wattage with the LED, because they're black water tanks, so I'm not going to be going as big or putting as many LEDs down. So that's pretty significant power savings with using LED lightings. One thing I don't know if I mentioned in that original DIY video is that you are going to need a little super glue. The LED ribbon is self-adhesive, but it doesn't self-adhere, I guess you would say, but you need a little bit of super glue to help make sure they stay down when in operation. One thing I know I forgot in the original DIY video is that waterproofing these particular LED ribbon is important, because they have a lot of exposed metal and such on the components. I use this and have been using this. I don't know why I forgot to mention it in the video, but it's polyacrylic. It's a spray. Super easy. Once you get everything laid down and glued down, you just give 2 or 3 coats and you're waterproofed, especially if you're making sure you're hitting the components and stuff. So it is very important here. Or you could buy the LED ribbon that's already waterproofed. I just find it really hard to work with. So I've got my hoods ready out of the gutter flashing, and we're just going to start laying them down and see if I can get some lighting on these tanks today. Okay, so here we have a finished unit and what they're going to look like. There's the hood across the top of the tank. Let's see if I can get it out here. I've waterproofed it and laid down the LED ribbon. You can see from the shine back the polyurethane, and I've got it hooked up. I had it hooked up temporarily. Now this project took a turn for the more complicated. I'm sitting here doing this upgrade to my fish room, and I don't want it to be sloppy, so I had to get a bunch of other extra pieces to get it to do exactly what I wanted to do, and that's what we're going to do right now. Like I said, it's starting to get, the project became a little bit more complicated. I want individual control of all the lighting units for each tank, and I want master control for everything. Plus, I don't want wires hanging out all over the place. I'm putting forth all this effort to make this little fish room upgrade cool and neat and easy to maintain and everything else. So what I had to do is I had to get a project box. Project box is going to house my power supply, as you can see here. And then I bought a bunch of connectors to make this real simple. This is just like things like this rocker switch, which is going to control the AC power for on and off. Then I got a bunch of barrel jacks. Those are the males. I got these really cool toggle switches that light up, so they'll be color coded for the tank racks. That'll be pretty cool once I get it done. And then all the way from China, I got the female barrel jack connectors. So working on this project box, everything's going to come in here, and then I'll have individual control of everything. So I'm going to work on that now, and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so here she is, and I gotta say, I'm completely impressed with myself. This is definitely something worthy of the Garage Days Revisited upgrade. So I got all my little cool toggle switches in here. Made a nice air vent for it. My manual on and off. I got all my female barrel jack adapters right here. All nice in a row. Everything is all set on the inside. Just gotta wire it up now. And hopefully I can figure that out and get that to work. But it's definitely exceeded my expectations for sure. Getting really excited about this now, guys. Alright, well, it took me some time because it was a little bit more of a headache than I had thought. But there she is. She's up and in place. I got it wired around to this first row of tanks. I'll get the other tanks on as they come online, but now that the switch is done and in place, it'll be real easy to just now plug and play everything else. What I like about it is it's right in place, going with the Work Smarter. I can reach everything here. I can turn it on and off. But the beauty of it is there's only one AC cord to power the whole thing, and then I'll have the 15 barrel jacks for the DC connections up there. As you can see here, I got the power all off or all on, and then I can control the tanks individually if I ever need be. So we got it up and in place finally. The lighting on the tanks, as you can see, is about 2500, 2700K, a little bit more yellow and red in them. Plenty of light to see the fish, and it's a little bit subdued, so when these become black water tanks, it'll look quite good. So I left a description so you can learn how to do these do-it-yourself lighting if you want. But that switch is really cool. I'll be able to plug the AC cord into a timer, and was hoping there'd be room in there for the timer, but it just there's not enough room in that box. All the wiring and everything that I had to cram in there, it's not enough room to put a timer in there. And then the extra wiring, as you can see, all these have like little LED lights on them that should be lit up when it's in the power on position. I just took some extra wiring too, and you know, this has dragged on for like 2.5 weeks now to finally get this part done. I'm ready to move on. I got some tanks coming in. Got a replacement tank for over here. So I'll leave a description for the LED lights for the last video I did on how to build them. And comment, rate, subscribe. We've got power. Have a good one, y'all.